want to turn now to the pain of the pump. A lot of folks, a lot of drivers are feeling those higher gas prices due to the war with Iran. And we want to talk about this push from lawmakers to have a gas tax holiday to bring some relief to people. But is it what meets the eye? We'll see. And we're going to talk to an expert to break down the reality behind the pump, which is Paul Miller. He's a CPA and founder of Miller and Company. Well, Paul, thanks for being with us.
You're welcome. Good to be here.
Now, I want to start off by talking about the current state of affairs with the gas prices here. So I just pulled these numbers from AAA. So right now in Maryland, gas is about $4 a gallon. Virginia, $3.94. DC, $4.30. That's all higher, largely, especially with DC. It's higher than the national average of 409. So we are seeing this increased pressure, right? Prices are going up. So lawmakers are looking to provide some relief to people. But what you're saying and others as well is that suspending the federal tax may not be the right move here. Why is that?
Well, there's budgets, right, that all this money is already spent. So if you take a stream of revenue away from one source, who's going to pay for it? Where are they getting the other money from? You know what I mean? Like everything is pre-approved and it's in the budget. And if they take a stream of revenue away from one part of the government, what's going to fill that gap?
Right, so you're saying this could hurt a department, an agency who's expecting to receive some of these, the sources here, and one in particular, the Highway Trust Fund. They're already facing insolvency, and they do receive money from federal gas taxes. So what might happen if, there is this big holiday break, people are looking forward to it, what might happen to an agency like that?
They're going to have problems. So like if it's an infrastructure, and they take money away from infrastructure, well, maybe the potholes won't get filled. Maybe something won't get done. And there's going to be something is going to suffer for them taking this money and putting it towards a gas holiday or a gas tax holiday.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and to that point, doing some reporting here, the tax generates $23 billion in revenue per year. Just that federal gas tax, right? So, let's say you get a 6-month break. I mean, that's going to be a hit for so many, right?
I think it'd be huge. I mean, there could be a conversation. Maybe they could allocate some of the tariff money towards this, but I'm not in those conversations. But you want to look at money that's new and not allocated already by budgets and by predetermined sources.
I mean, how?
Right?
Yeah. I mean, how would a break how would that really impact economic stability for multiple agencies?
Well, if you take a gas tax and you take a break and reallocate it towards that stream of revenue, which you're not going to collect anymore, maybe they will ultimately see the break. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. That's it's never very clear, especially when you're dealing with the government.
Right. And then another thing that people are concerned about is that some have called this gas tax holiday a gimmick, for instance. So can you talk about how this may not actually be saving consumers any money here?
Well, if they're reducing the tax from the gas, you would think that it would go directly to the consumer. But I don't believe that it directly does go to the consumer. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. The governments, the local governments, the state governments, it's not that simple. It's pretty tricky, right? And a lot of people, I think there are 2 states that have already enacted it, like Georgia and Indiana. And I don't really know if they're getting the full effect of what the government has reduced, if the individuals are really feeling it.
I mean, so what should be done as a solution, right? Because people are seeking relief, right? Especially lower middle income Americans who are really feeling the everyday increases, trying to get to work, trying to run errands. What's the solution here?
I don't have a direct solution, but it's very interesting how Trump says we have all the oil we need to self-sustain America, which is wonderful. But if we have our own oil, why can't we control the prices? Why do we have to let the market dictate what the prices are? That's an interesting comment. Like not even a couple of months ago, it was $70 a barrel. And today, close to 100. if we own our own oil, why can't we like somehow like maybe get the government to tell them to freeze it for a little while? And ultimately the sellers would be kind of capped out on what profit they can make.
Now, I mean, it's been floated, a timeline, I believe, of about 6 months. I mean, do you think if they shorten that, obviously it might lessen the blow of the impact to the agencies that need it while still providing some relief? Where do you stand on a potential timeline?
I have no clue. I just read that the talk for negotiations was canceled today. So I would imagine in a short period of time this will get resolved, especially with the midterm elections coming up. But I really have no lens into when this is going to end. It is painful for everyone.
Or just rather how long there should be a break, right? Some relief, some reprieve for Americans.
I think that this directly impacts every consumer out there. I think they should give us a break until this is over. It directly impacts family, in my view. I see that the cost of my weekly spending in gas has increased 50%. So everyone's feeling it. So I think that at some level, the government should step in and help us.
Yeah, I mean, if lawmakers happen to be watching our stream of Fox 5 Weekend Live, I mean, what would your message be to them right now?
Help the consumer. Help the consumer now. I think the war is really important. And I think the president knows that, and he knows we're going through pain. And he said it's more important for the nuclear situation. But I think if they could allocate possibly some of the tariff money to help the gas problem would be really helpful.
Right, those are good points. And there's also been some reporting that the gas tax holiday, this could also impact the federal deficit, raising the federal deficit. So that is something to keep in mind, right?
Right, and so is the fraud. There's a lot of fraud going on. So maybe if we get rid of the fraud, they could spend some of the money on a gas tax.
Yeah. Is there anything in addition that you want to share about how the government should be moving forward at a time like this?
I really think it's really important that the government help the individual consumer kind of like cap out the price for a period of time. And they know better than I would ever know on how to allocate the money to, especially the federal government, to the consumer to help them.
I mean,
you need to help the consumer.
Is there any concern, on the flip side of this, that it could worsen inflation, or do you think if there is a reprieve, that's the thing that they should focus on? Is making sure that there's a reprieve
I definitely think gas would increase inflation. It's everybody needs it. It's not just gas. It's your home energy costs. It's everything that's going to go up. It definitely could have an impact on inflation, without a doubt in my mind.
Okay. Well,
so I think the government is paying attention to this, and hopefully they'll do something.
And we will see as the conversation continues on if the pros and the cons of having this gas tax holiday. We appreciate you breaking it down for us, Paul.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be right back after a short break.